Poetry is the use of words and language to evoke a writer's feelings and thoughts. Poetry. Poetry is from the Greek poen, to make. A poem is something made, or in English, we should more naturally say crafted. Poetry is a type of literature based on the interplay of words and rhythm. It often employs rhyme and meter, a set of rules governing the number and arrangement of syllable in each line. In poetry, words are strung together to form sounds, images, and ideas that might be too complex or abstract to describe directly. Poetry is a literary art form that can be written, spoken, or performed. It focuses on the aesthetic of the language. It is usually composed in verse and is concerned with evoking of literary devices such as alliteration and metaphor. It is the musicality of language and rendering of abstract thoughts, ideas, and emotions, rendered with words and sounds. It is picture pointed with words. As you can see, I can capture the essence of poetry in a better than a dictionary. Poetry is all of these things and none of these things. There is a magic in poetry that is difficult to describe in words, even though poetry itself often uses words to create magic. What are the three types of poetry? There are three main kinds of poetry: the narrative, dramatic, and lyrical. The purpose of poetry is attention. Unlike prose, poetry asks us to pay attention to language, not just sentence by sentence or even words by word, but syllable, sound by sound. I think we need poetry itself in order to truly convey what poetry is. Robert Frost gave us a definition of poetry that is from the poet's perspective. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thoughts and a thought has found words.
Meter. Meter is a literacy device that works as a structural element in poetry. Essentially, meter is the basic rhythmic structure of a line within a poem or poetic work. Meter functions as a means of imposing a specific number of syllables and emphasis. When it comes to a line of poetry that adds to its musicality, it consists of number of syllables and the pattern of emphasis. In addition, meter governs individual units within a line of poetry called feet. A foot of a specific work features a specific number of syllables and pattern of emphasis. Rhyme. It is the repetition of syllables, typically at the end of a verse line. Rhymed words conventionally share all sounds following the word's last stressed syllable. There are different types of rhyme. Types of rhyme include full rhyme, half or para rhyme, and internal rhyme. Rhyme scheme. A rhyme scheme is the pattern of sounds that repeats at the end of a line or stanza. Rhyme schemes can change line by line, stanza by stanza, or can continue throughout the poem. Verse. Verse is a collection of metrical lines of poetry. It is used to define the difference of poetry and prose. It contains rhythm and pattern. Verse is used to represent any division or groupings of words in a poetic composition, with groupings traditionally having been referred to as stanzas. Stanza. A division of a poem consisting of two or more lines arranged together as a unit. More specifically, a stanza usually is a group of lines arranged together in a recurring pattern of metrical lines and a sequence of rhymes. Some common types of stanza include the couplet, tercet or triple, quatrain, quatrain, sextain, sonnets, sestanas, and villanelles.
Bakasyon na nga ba? Magdamag na nakahiga, maghapong nakahilata. Ang daming gawain kung hindi ko nagawa sa katawan kong hinila at inimbitahan ng kama. Hindi naman ako lasing para masabing may tama. Iba't bakasyon ang tawag sa pagdayo sa malalayong lugar. Bakasyon din nga pa ang tawag sa pagtutok sa telebisyong umaandar. Bahay-bahayan tapos ko nang sungkitin ang nasabit na kahoy sa punong pinanggalingan. Bakasyon na nga ba talaga? Ang dami ko ng gawain na kailangan kong magawa. Nilandagan ko na halos ang malawak na bakuran. Inapakan ko na ang lupang kumikislap. Sakay ang bisikletang nasisiraan. Napulot ko na rin ang maliliit na kawayan. Pati gawing uuso lang ngayon ang kaliwat kanang pesta. Pero kapag simula na ang balik eskwela, nakahilata, hindi na ako magdamag na nakahiga o maghapong tulog.
Staring myself in the mirror, thinking if I can be her. Tears are falling from pain. I hope this won't stay or remain. I never felt this before, and you're the one that I adore. Keep on running in my head while I was eating my bread. I'm glad that I like you, but I'm sad that it's you. My feelings should end, or should I stay pretend?